All right, hello everyone, and welcome Crash. This is RTA Motorsports. We're gonna jump right in. I just want to make sure everything is working as it should, because restarting the computer seemed to actually help this situation. So let's pop out the chats here, make sure that is going, so I can see if you guys are reaching out at all. I definitely want to hear any sort of like questions, comments, anything like that. But yeah, sorry, the last stream wasn't working. I really don't, I don't know what was going on. It seems to be working just fine now. So we're gonna roll with it. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, we're in. Everything's working. So we don't really, we don't have much time at all for practice, so let's just see what we can do and actually get on the track for maybe just a little bit. I am noticing map is humongous because we're at Le Mans, and let's get the setups going. Again, we use VRS. If you're interested at all in you know, any sort of setups, you want to get into iRacing, and the possibility of setups just seem daunting to you, we use VRS here. I'm not sponsored by them. They just make my life a lot easier. And for some reason, Philips Hue lights are full blast right now. See if we can get them to calm down, because that's going to be a little distracting. But if that's what it's going to take for us to get on the track, we will deal with it. There we go. Okay. Let's make this back to full screen. Ah. All right. There we go. All right. Get on track for a little bit. I thought it was going to kick me out of the event. Make sure this is, feel anything going. There we go. All right, so we got the G-Belt going right now. Ah, why did that do that? Every time. Sorry about all the skipping. Every time you got to go from full screen mode or, you know, partial to full screen mode, it just skips like crazy. This is going to be that new tire model, the Gen 4, I believe it is. It's a little much. Lower the volume a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So I did set up a bunch of just default effects. One particular I'm loving. One particular that I'm loving is the gear shift effect. Whenever there's a gear shift change, the belts kind of pull me back. It's been so long since I've raced here, it almost seems a little different. I guess maybe there's been some updates. Not really sure if there's been updates specific to Le Mans, but it feels like it. Definitely looks prettier than I remember. Gear shift is, oh man, that's pretty cool. Of course, the braking and the G-forces, you know, you kind of expect it. I did not need to go to first gear there. I was talking with Jesse, and one point he was making with the new tire model is once the tires are up to speed, up to temperature, it's a lot more controllable. As far as, you know, driving the car at the limits, you really feel like you could save the car in a slide or in any situation that before would just feel like you were driving on ice and you just lost control of the vehicle. Kind of like that. I feel like I'm like unfamiliar with this track. I've driven here so many times. Maybe it's just been so long. Vicinity FPV, how you doing? Oh, these don't have the new tire model? I thought the GTEs and GT3s, is it just GT3? And the new Ferrari 296? Just a new Ferrari challenge car and GT3. Okay. Well, then never mind. We're just gonna be ice skating together, everybody. Hopefully we don't. Really, hopefully we do not. Jesse, was there any sort of updates to Le Mans? It just, I don't know, it just feels a little unfamiliar to me. I'm not really sure why. Good, Vicinity. Glad you're doing good, man. There we go. All right, qualifying's about to start. We're gonna need all the time we can get because it's such a large track, so we really need to get over to that race session. Hopefully, we don't have any issues doing so. Gotta get Jesse over here to try this this new belt setup. Kind of curious to see what he would think. This camera looks grainy. I don't know why. There's some like base settings that I have on my cameras. This one in particular never seems to save. Not really sure why. This is the older face cam. That's like the wheel cam. It always looks like really grainy for whatever reason. And the light sync keeps stopping. If it stays at this setting, we'll just roll with it because it's not too bad. Super bright earlier. Yeah, it looks like it reset itself. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. No reason for it to be doing that. We normally have active lights, but I guess today we won't. We'll just roll like this, which is probably a little bit better to get a little bit extra light. So let's see what type of weather we're dealing with. We got overcast. Mostly cloudy, 68 degrees. Track is dry. Not too bad. It's 8:17 a.m. Let's see. We got 28 cars. We got 2 Riveras. There can be only one. There's me and another Rivera. All right. Unfortunately, we didn't really get time to practice and reorientate ourselves because it's been months since we really, besides the last race we had a few days ago, it's been months since I've really kind of like been back, especially driving at the Le Mans track. But let's see. So we got our qualifying setup still up and running. Let's go. Let's go. That was almost real bad. Oh man, my powerlifting, not we're making progress. I'm focusing more on rehab work right now and rehabilitation for my shoulder. But it's getting a lot better. It's really like slow healing process. Really slow healing process. I'm back to like 295 benching with some discomfort, but not like excruciating pain like I was. At one point, anything 225 or above was like seriously causing like my eyes to water. Now that's not happening as much, so I'm just slowly increasing the strength. I'm kind of hoping by the end of this year I could do the Rogue 1250, because I already got the Rogue 1000 shirt. I did do that one, but since then my bench increased, my squat increased, and then I hurt my shoulder, and then we kind of lost everything. So, but I know how to get it back. I know how to program it back. So, yeah, I think the deadlift I did for that was like a 455, but after then I deadlifted 505, and I was trying to, you know, bring everything up. My bench went from 315 to like a 335 shortly after that. But soft tissue injuries, man, they're no joke. They take so long. But I have a physical therapist, and she gave me a lot of good like workouts to do. So I know. I'm trying not to re-injure myself. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I do need to lose a little bit of weight, but yeah, I'm definitely focusing on like cold plunging. My gym just got a rehab, a recovery area with like red light beds and things like that. So I'm trying all of that, really focusing on improving my sleep. And just after a few days of doing it, my sleep, because I monitor my sleep, my deep sleep has gone up significantly. I don't know if there's any correlation yet, but it seems like it. Right when I started it, all of a sudden my deep sleep more than doubled. So I've been trying to maintain that. Got it off track, but this lap doesn't count. Oh no, I think this lap does count. Darn. I think they start you where they start you because you're doing a flying. Alright. That's no fun. Definitely not hitting the lines right through there. Not clean. Come on, crash. What would probably benefit me big time is watching a video like optimal line on VRS. I feel like I'm kind of butchering some of these, but hate to say it, that's how we start a lot of our races. I don't have a whole lot of free time. can reset and start over for qualifying. It won't just like presume you're in the same lap still. I didn't know you could do that. But it was a left-hander. We didn't have enough time to get a second lap in. Well, that stinks. That's all right. We probably need to be towards the back anyway to start watching. Let's see where we're going to end up. All right, so we're going to end up 17. Only a few people actually put laps down, so if we would have actually put that first lap down, we would have been at least P9. What can you do? Got 28 cars on track. Unless you're in the prototype, I don't think there's enough time for 2 laps. If you screw it up the first lap, reset. Ah, that's smart. I didn't know that. Hey, no problem. I love streaming and hanging out with you guys, so anyone that wants to hang out, I appreciate it. Hopefully I don't start screaming expletives. No, we try to keep it clean here. All right, 10 seconds. Yeah, last time we did a 15-minute race session for the Ferrari 296 Challenge. And not you can see my shoulders jumping from the G-Belt. And from not racing for a long time and coming back and racing again, those 15-minute races, man, I only did 2 of them, and I was drenched. I looked like I went swimming. I really did. So I can only imagine how I'm going to look like after this race here. Oh man, and those 15-minute races, they felt pretty serious. They felt like it was a long process. So this 45 minutes is going to feel like an endurance series for me. I'm sure Jesse's laughing because he does these 24-hour crazy races. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate it. Thank you. So again, if you're new to this channel, we have a ProSimu T1000, the AL cockpit. That's the aluminum profile cockpit with the silent, the PRS50 silent actuators. It's 3 degrees of freedom motion rig, so we do have traction loss. And now we do also have the SimXperience G-Belt. That's why my shoulders are popping, locking over here, but it is very immersive. I'm actually really surprised. Really surprised how much I'm enjoying it. All right. Oh, we spun it. We spun it. Is happening? This is no fun. That was literally like being on ice. I just spun twice back to back. So now we got our work cut out for us. I thought we had a really good start. Yeah, 4-hour solo races are serious, man. Oh, looks like they just hit each other. Victor Gonzalez was hit by Mark Rivera, it looked like. His car jumped pretty violently when he went to the left side of the track to pass him. He's trying to let me go. Oh my gosh. It's like no one's home. This is embarrassing. I'm gonna get these tires up to temperature. Qualifying setup felt significantly better, which, I mean, it should on cold tires, right? Probably more aggressive alignment. Jeez. I was braking and I felt like immediately I was just locking up the tires. Turn, baby. Come on. Mark just crashed out. Looks like he went right into the wall. There's quite a few cars in the pits right now. Looks like I'm not the only one having some difficulties right now. That was Richard Petit, or Pettit. Really need to get some of these turns a little bit more into the apex. Alright, so we are P26. People are having a lot of issues. That's why I'm braking so soon. It's like I just need to survive, I feel like. Alright, we're coming up on Victor Gonzalez here. We could get him maybe after this right-hander. Ooh, lots and lots of debris. I have a feeling Victor's just going for safety rating, driving really easy. That or he's got an injured car. May have a hurt car, but I can tell by how he's driving, it really just seems like he's trying to just stay out of everyone's way and focus on safety rating. We've all been there. What's up? What's going on? Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep going because this is definitely gonna be a game of survival. Already starting to sweat. Here comes the sweat. I'm cutting it. So we're back to P19. I think we started this race P17. It's going to take a little bit of work to really get back to where we were. Does anyone know if they updated this track? It really seems like they did. The trees look so much more detailed than they ever used to be. At least from going from memory, but then again, I haven't raced here in a long time. Five laps of fuel left. Keep messing up this turn. I don't know why I keep, by default, thinking it's a left-hander. It's a right-hander. We'll get it. Hey, Jesse. You know Dennis made me do this, right? The G-Belt. This is Dennis's fault. Get it in on that first apex a little bit more. Open up that second turn. This is all stuff I need to have worked on during a practice session. That's why you need a practice. But if you're like me and you have very limited time, sometimes you just gotta jump in and have fun. You just gotta let it roll. You just kind of roll with the punches. It's not gonna be a perfect race. Look at that, we're back to P16. We started P17, had some cold tire incidences, we'll call it, at the beginning of the race. And now we're back one position ahead of where we started. Could be due to pitting, you know, could be people who are getting their fuel. See if we could set up the auto fuel. We should have some good data now. I love that they have the auto fuel, because that used to be something I would kind of stress out about. How much fuel do I need? Well, on these race teams, you would have a, I mean, you can still do it yourself, but you would have a strategist and, you know, the crew chief and all them would determine how much fuel you need to finish the race. Of course, you can make your own call. What was that? Lando Norris stood out one time instead of coming back in and didn't have his pit. I think like 2 or 3 years ago. And that was like the first time he won a race. So, you know. But even then, still, if you just want to jump in and go, grab your setup from like a place like VRS or one like it. So there's many like Discord channels where people are sharing setups and things like that. Turn, baby. Oh, turn. That was too much of a turn. There's Richard passing us by. Yeah, I overcooked that one, definitely. I was trying to push it a little bit harder than maybe I was ready for with my knowledge of the track. So we're going to pit at the end of this lap here. I definitely didn't get it in to the apex like I wanted it to. Oh no. Trying to really push it to catch this guy, and I'm causing myself to have some mistakes. No bueno. We're coming up with some lap cars about 37 seconds ahead of us. Slowly on the draft here. It's currently only 1.7 seconds ahead of us. Must have messed up on the last chicane because we gained a lot of headway there. Stop trying to spin out right there. Move. Yes. Yes. Come on. We're going to be coming into pit to get a little bit of fuel. Go. Let's get in the pits. Let's get some fuel. Definitely either auto pit speed limiter or assign a button. And assign a button you're always going to be able to count on really quickly, because you just need some of these entrances are a little funky, and you just are going to need to get in and get out. We shouldn't be doing tires, guys. Alright, we're not. We're good. We're good. We're good. In and out, in and out. Not again. That turn. I'm just gonna have to practice that turn. Oh man. I don't know, I just get like caught in a trance almost, like I want to catch up. I'm thinking, yeah, I can brake later. Nope. I didn't get it off track. Good deal, but I think that's the biggest thing I'm learning is like since I've been off my calibration, my brain calibration for what brake threshold is gone. I have to just sit there with a gauge on the screen and just see like where full threshold braking is. Jeez. We'll get it though. We will get it. That turn that's been evading me. All right, come on. Nailed it. Really had to focus on keeping my eyes on the actual apex on the corner instead of like looking at the pillars that are next to it. I think that helped me out probably the most. It's a 401-216. I don't need to go down to third gear there. 5 laps of fuel left. I know what that's going to translate to. Let's see, do you guys think I'm going to have enough fuel to finish this thing? Hopefully. There we go. It only took me a few laps to get a few key laps, a few very important key laps to get all that situated there, but we got it. So we end up doing another race here. We should be good to go. Much better. I feel like I'm remembering this course now. It took me quite a few laps to kind of like get my bearings. I don't know. Maybe it just has been so long since I raced here. Little sun's coming out. There we go. What am I doing? What is Crash doing? We did. We got a lap car ahead of us. We make it around nice and safely. son. Beautiful. Definitely an opportunity for a lot more speed on that corner. I am not even using the run out like I should be. And really getting it into the apex and then using that run out on the outside. Probably could even stay in fourth gear. We're in a little bit of like a hole. 8.7 seconds back is Steve Calhoun, who's P14, and we got 16.2 seconds ahead is Adam Rubel in P12. We're P13 currently. So Steve is falling back. He must have spun out or hit something. Maybe some of the debris got him. clean. I'm glad we kept it on the track, but that was not clean. I'm trying to hold a little bit more speed through that area. This right-hander that's going to be coming up here, I am going to try to hold a little bit more speed through it. There we go. Kept it in 4th gear. It held it like a champ and said, "You're still going way too slow." Got 2 laps of fuel left. Interesting. Hopefully we make it to the end. That was nice and beautiful. That was smooth. That was smooth through there. This guy ahead of us that's holding pretty good lap pace. And we're slowly pulling him in. I mean, every lap it's only like a few seconds more. He's a lap car, so that's why I'm not really like trying to aggressively do anything. But he's holding a very steady lap pace, and honestly, he might just be a lap car due to an incident. Very, very smooth. There we go. White flag is out. Thank goodness. I was getting worried about our auto fueling from our crew chief in iRacing. Well, maybe he set us up to fail. I was like, come on, man. Come on. All right. Just one more. Smoother. Unfortunately, I did have to lower my entrance speed down quite a bit, which is normally what I have to do. I tend to overcook things. Hence why the name is Crash. Alright, so we may be able to make it by him on one of these straights, maybe possibly after this first chicane. I don't know if we're going to really have enough. Nice. He's conceding. Thank you, bud. Even though he was racing really smooth. When they race smooth like that, it's like, sometimes it's nice just having him ahead of you. So you get that draft and get, it's almost like racing with a ghost car. So that way, you know, like, you get reminders of where your braking point should be, how the line should look. Because he's obviously pretty experienced. He might just have a hurt car. My fuel light on my screen here just turned on. It's a nice in-your-face reminder, hey, you're about to walk. We survived. All right, so the last lap was actually my fastest lap, a 3:55.931. So by no means do I think that that is competitive or anything like that. But we survived. I didn't know if we would survive, especially with not really getting much practice in before we were able to jump in. So that's, I mean, that's great. There's nothing more I could ask for, especially not racing for months and not remembering this course. I could have sworn I remembered it. And then all of a sudden it was like, wait a minute. I don't remember any of these turns. What is happening right now? So finally, after a few laps, we jogged our memory. We were able to get it done. We started P17. We had a great start. Got ahead of the P16 car. But then unfortunately, due to cold tires and you know, me just driving it a little too hard, we ended up spinning it, I think 2 or 3 times in the very beginning of the first lap, and then pretty much going to the back of the pack and fighting our way back up to P13. Luckily for us, unfortunate for those drivers, but luckily for us, there was a lot of racing incidences that really kind of enabled us to move up faster than we probably should have. Let's look at Let's look at the race start here. Let's see, practice, qualify, race. You see, we definitely did get a decent start there. That white Porsche was P16 as we're coming through. And right up here, I want to say it was this first left-hander. We end up losing it. I just overcook it. Come on the outside line, and yeah, I'm just overcooking it. I'm just going way too hot. I should have taken the line that the Ferrari did. I was hell-bent on staying in and really braking and having a clean line, but that Ferrari they just kept going straight right through and maybe just getting a little time penalty. P16 car, but look at us. We literally just like spun around, went to go, and then completely lost it. We were on ice. And there we go. We are all the way in the back, minus any cars that had any racing incidences there. So that was like P27, P28. And now I'm just embarrassed, tail between the legs, but knowing I have a lot of work to do. We started again, P17. We finished P13. But I wasn't the only one. Look at this. Cars are all over the place. BMW we just passed. They were off track, and that's why they're coming in behind us. And the one that we passed that was off track, clearly there was off track. So there was a lot of racing incidences that did happen. We weren't the only one. And but yeah, we survived. We survived with a car without any scratches. Really, we didn't hit any walls or anything like that, luckily enough. We didn't really have any actual damage. It was just, you know, really learning the car, especially a car with cold tires. So sometimes it takes a little bit. Definitely look forward to doing this race again. All right, so let's take a look and let's see what our... Whoa. All right, that's a little too dark. Let's change the scene here. There we go. I like that a little better. All right. Oh, I just got that error again. Visit the iRacing member website to launch the simulation. So I restarted the computer and it worked fine, but now getting out of the race, I just had that same issue. I mean, hopefully we don't have that issue the next race we try to do eventually. But a little concerning. So let's go to results. Let's see what the results look like. And again, this is week 1. All right, so we got 35 series points. Okay, my safety rating went up 0.22, even though we had all those incidences. Imagine if I didn't. Imagine how much it probably would have went up a whole point. That's crazy. 0.22, and we still had, I think it was 9 incident points. No, 8. 8 incident points. Some of the lead guys, wow. P8 had 15 incident points. Everyone except for the first 2 cars had incident points. And some had quite a bit. So apparently I wasn't the only one having a hard time here. Let's see. Safety rating. Oh, and those first 2 guys, they were A cars. So they only went up 0.25, which it's hard to earn safety. So that's one thing with iRacing. The higher up in the license you go, the harder it is to earn your safety rating. The easier it is to lose your safety rating. So any mistakes you make, you really get nailed for it. But if you do something good like this race here, it's very hard to earn. And then there was someone that had 5 incident points. They were B, just like me, but they only gained 0.15 of their safety rating. So it's very strange. They were P3. So you would think that they would get more than that. So I don't know. Maybe it's just also taking into consideration my I rating, which is not great. It's 1139. They're 1300s, 1400s. So maybe that has something to do with it too. Or maybe they hit cars and I just, spun. So I don't know how it takes it into consideration, but I am grateful for my 0.22. I'm not saying I don't like it. My I rating only went up 3 points. So not really that big of a difference there. There was only 2 splits, it looks like, for this particular race session, and we were the second split. So, yeah, so not bad. Very, very happy about that. Overall, I would say successful, great race. I'm glad that we were able to finally get in because really, it was looking like we weren't going to be able to get in, especially when we kept having that issue. Just very curious to see, like, if let me just try to join a practice session and see if we get that error again. This is going to be something that's going to be continuous because I may have to, I don't want to, but I may have to completely uninstall and reinstall iRacing, and that's just going to take forever. That was... See if we could get into a practice. See if it works. All right, join, monitor, boom. All right. Hopefully it works. It was a little concerning to see that error when we just got out of a race, though. It is loading the sim slower than the one successful time we had getting in. But yeah, let's talk about the G-Belt while we're kind of sitting here and seeing what's about to happen. The G-Belt, I have very... Let's see, one time. Oh, we're in. We're in. Okay, so that worked. So the SimXperience G-Belt, it utilizes the Sim Commander 4 software. Which right now I can't. Oh, there it is. So the Sim Commander 4 software, which is freezing up a little bit right now. Come on. It's up there. All right, there we go. So this is the Sim Commander 4 software. It's very slick software. It's one that I'm very familiar with, and I utilized back when I had just butt kickers. I had the butt kicker gamer 2 on like the playseat challenge. That was like one of my first actual rigs that I had. And these are all the sims that I have, and there's a lot of duplicates in here because I had some issues with the install. I had to reinstall, and I really just need to clean this up, especially a little bit of some of these buttons that don't have any backgrounds here. I need to aim it towards the specific sim, and some of the sims I moved from one hard drive to another, and it caused a lot of issues. But iRacing here, the nice thing is whenever you see this little cloud here, that means it's a cloud profile, and it will tune your wheel. And if you have the motion rig, if you have the G seat, or in my case, the G belt, it will tune it based on the car and track combination, which is really cool. So you just click launch and it will launch. It's telling me to visit, the iRacing website and launch the simulator. And then when you jump in, it should say, you should hear a voice saying, this car and track, or this setup matches this car and track, or something like that. This car and track matches this particular setup, and it will automatically tune your wheel and your belt or whatever other peripherals you have from SimXperience to whatever it should be. And it's pretty darn cool. It makes it really easy and seamless. You can see Project Cars 2 has cloud tuning, Automobilista, Assetto Evo, Assetto Corsa Competizione. There's a few others as well, Race Room Racing Experience. But the base tunes, I mean, you could really mess with anything you want. So if I click on the gears down here in the bottom, actually load it up on a different window. Go to Sim Device Manager. Now, when we're like running in a title, it's a little bit easier to get to, but you do have like your base settings here that you can kind of mess with. So right now, this is for the wheel. You could see stop spring, stop dampener, spring, friction dampener, and then you have your settings here. Intensity, I have only the 70%. Smoothing, I have it at 0.8 degrees of rotation. For some reason, it doesn't do directly 900. It does like 897. Weird. And then you can recalibrate, set wheel center, things like that. Now, if I go to motion controller, which it actually guides you to do it, that's for the G-Belt. And you have G-Belt left, G-Belt right. You do have to invert one of them. It's not inverted out of the box as far as when you connect it to the software. So in my case, I had to invert the left for it to feel correct. And then, you know, when you actually load up a sim, so let's say we're launching iRacing. I may have to actually be in the sim. Yeah, I got to be in the sim. Let's do it. Let's just go in a practice session real quick. And I'll show you all kind of what it looks like. It's pretty slick. And we'll try to listen in for this car and track matches your setup, or whatever the verbiage is for the cloud tuning profiles. You can see up there in the top screen, it says game running, waiting for game to close. Don't know why it says waiting for game to close, but. Oh, now we actually have the ability to go to our settings. So let's go into here. For whatever reason, not letting me do it. Come on. Maybe I did it too soon. We're getting that error again. Okay. Maybe it has something to do with SimXperience. I think we're figuring something out here. All right. Because now I'm getting like these weird launch errors. Game exited. Boom. All right. So let's register for a practice again. Now, if you were on that very short first stream that we did, that's when we were trying to load into iRacing and we were running into tons of issues. I had to restart my computer to get it to work. I don't think I had SimXperience running at one point, and it was still giving me that error. So we'll get into the title and then I'll launch iRacing on SimXperience if we actually can get in this time. It would be kind of interesting because normally you could just let it run and then launch iRacing and all just works. I don't know. This must be like maybe something going on with their most recent update in iRacing, or maybe a most recent update in SimXperience that's causing a conflict. Yeah, because now we're in. See that? All right, so let's launch. All right, it didn't say it, which is odd. It normally says it. Maybe it's a setting because I did uninstall and reinstall this. But we're gonna go to current profile settings, and let me move this down. So within here, if you go to output mixer, you see the G-Belt. Kind of hard to see. I know that it's. Let me make sure I'm even facing the right direction. So this top one here, it's gonna be hard to see because I am kind of far away. Is the AccuForce steering wheel. And if I bring this down, these are all the settings that I have. The red ones are the settings I have turned off, like the effect settings I have turned off. The black ones are the ones that are turned on. It's a little switch you can turn on and off. So I have like engine RPM, let's see, game force feedback, stuff like that on. Now, if I go down to G-Belt, that's this next one here. Let's actually close so we don't get confused. Under G-Belt, device settings, you could set like your intensity through here, your smoothing, your offset. I left that at default for the most part. I increased the intensity up to 116%. But I do have acceleration, braking surges, braking, bumps, cornering. I think the cornering is really cool because you kind of get that G-force effect of your body being thrown into the corner, because normally if you're wearing a belt and it's tight and you get thrown into a corner, you feel if you're turning to the right, turning that way, you kind of get thrown this way in your car. So this will tighten the left belt and kind of simulate that G-force effect. And it actually feels really good. It feels super intuitive. So after just a little bit of driving, especially braking, you kind of come to like almost count on that effect, or else it feels like something is turned off. Feels like you're driving almost without sound, if that makes sense. Then I also have continued acceleration and braking. That was under additional effects. And then the gear change effect was also under additional effects. And I have that to 163%, which is all the way down here. I mean, their scales are a little weird with the G-Belt. I'm not really sure why. But I really like that effect just because I feel like you're getting slammed every time the gear changes. Even though you're not physically moving forward. I do have a gear change effect in my rig where it just moves just slightly, just to kind of give you that seat of the pants feel, not constantly throw your head around. But with that and then this at the same time, it really makes it immersive. It's really cool. All right, everyone. So definitely stay tuned for the full review as we test this more. I do notice, like, you know, little things here and there happen. Like, for instance, we just loaded up and it doesn't seem to be using the belt. Now that could be my computer, because you can see we were also having a hard time actually getting into iRacing with SimXperience software running. So I'm not really sure what that's about. A little bit more research I'm gonna have to do into some of these issues and see if maybe it's a Windows update issue or what could be going on. But all right, everyone, I'm Crash, this RTA Motorsports. Definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a full review of this thing, but this is only our second day of testing it, so that's not going to happen real soon. I definitely want to test it in other sims. Settle Corsa Competizione, Live for Speed, all of them. I definitely want to try all of them. Dirt Rally is definitely going to be one. EA Sports WRC is definitely going to be another, because I love me some. I love Rally. I really love the challenge of it, but we do have profiles for it. So I definitely want to utilize it and see how it feels. Maybe it's too noisy. Maybe I need to cut back some of the settings. We will definitely figure that out together as we dive deeper into this this G-Belt. But I do got to say, if you are wondering how robust it is, things like that, this is a pretty serious piece of equipment. I have it bolted to my seat directly, using some templates that they gave, but it is pretty serious. You're going to want to make sure you have a legit seat if you're going to do that. And I really don't think like this is going to break. I'm just having computer issues, as we have always had. We have always had computer issues. What would be different on this stream than any other stream? No matter what system I'm running, we always have computer issues. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. This was tons of fun. It reminds me why I was doing this in the first place a long time ago, and kind of makes me regret ever, you know, letting other things sort of stop me. But am I going to be doing, oh, I missed this whole side of chat. Everyone, I am so sorry. For some reason, my chat wasn't updating, and now I see, let's see. Still here making dinner and lurking. Jesse, awesome. Yee, same. Vicinity. Doing any more racing? Not tonight. I'm going to call it a night. I have to wake up early for work tomorrow, but hopefully this weekend at some point, maybe get an early race in. Early race, maybe Saturday or something like that. But yeah, definitely want to get some more racing in. Definitely more in iRacing. I want a redemption race in this series, but I bought the Ferrari 296 and I absolutely loved it. That one race we did a few days ago got P5. It felt really good when the tires warmed up. The car feels like an absolute animal. I definitely want to jump back into the Ferrari series, but I do gotta say, like, I definitely need to practice because right now they're at Red Bull Ring, and I don't really think I've turned many laps at Red Bull Ring. It's been a long time, even longer than the last time I was at this track at Red Bull Ring. So maybe I'll watch some videos and look at the optimal line, things like that. Make sure that I'm ready for it because that could be quite an animal. But yeah, I'm not really sure what happened here. I lost my stream completely. I mean, lost my chat completely. All right, everyone. Again, I'm Crash's RTA Motorsports. Thank you so much for joining in. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Stay safe. Stay happy. And as usual, I'll catch you all next time.